Creating a new build is not cheap. You know that it costs about $100 a pop to make a build. I've made 12, and all of those builds were not bad, they just didn't match my playstyle. So as I was searching to find the perfect build for me and the way that I play, I came across what I feel that I've built is a 6'6 sharp that just plays exactly the way that I want to play and does everything that I needed to do to make me a high clip shooter and scorer for my team, regardless of the mode that I play. So today I'm gonna walk you through how I made that player, why I made him the way that I made him, and that way you can start thinking about how to make your builds to meet your playstyle so you stop spending thousands and thousands of dollars like I did. Does your dominant hand matter when you're making a build? And it actually does. If you want to be predominantly left-handed, then that means that when you go to fade, you're going to want to fade to your dominant hand, meaning that if you like to run on the right side of the court, you're going to want to pick the left hand because it's easier to drift that way. If you like to play on the left-hand side of the court, you're going to want to pick the right hand because it's going to be easier to drift to the right hand. So make sure you pick the right hand when making your build. When you're making a sharpshooter build, you want to be able to ask yourself, what is the tallest build height that I can go ahead and choose to be able to still get the highest level of shooting? And in this case, it's a 6'6 shooting guard that gives us, with the lowest wingspan of 6'6 and the lowest weight of 180, a 99 mid-range so we can get legend shooting badges. The next thing you want to focus on when you're making your build is what are you going to specialize in? I'm making a 6'6 sharpshooter, so I want to lock into my shooting first. And I want to shoot at a high clip, so I'm going to want my legend badges. I don't care what anybody else says. You don't need that high of a shooting. This is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to play. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 94 midi because it costs less than three-pointer. I'm going to +5 it to get 99. I'm going to go 88 on the three-pointer again because it costs more, and then I'm gonna +5 it to 93, and then who doesn't like free points for all those transition fouls? I'm gonna make my free throw 99. When making your sharpshooting build, you have to take speed into account. When I'm making my 6'6 that you're looking at here now, I'm gonna put my speed at 90, and then I'm gonna +5 it to be 95. Then for my agility, I'm gonna go with an 88, and then every time I get a +1 cap breaker, I'm gonna keep adding it to my agility. Speed is everything when you're a sharpshooter. It's gonna keep you faster on the fast breaks. It's gonna allow you to be able to dex. It's gonna allow you to be able to recover and play a little bit more aggressively on defense. Speed is the game. The faster you are, the easier it is for you to be able to create opportunities to be able to shoot, even if you can't dribble. But before I show you the rest of the build, I'm curious to know, how many builds have you made already in NBA 2K25? I already told you mine, which is 12. Let me know yours in the comments below. You will never catch me making a sharpshooting build that cannot dunk. Now, I know you may be saying, hey, you can have a high layup, or all you need is a 45 or a 65 to get away with a dunk. Yes, that's right, but I want the Devin Booker dunk package. All you need is an 80 and a 60 vertical. This gives you animations that makes it seem like you got posterizer on legend. I'm gonna go with an 80 driving dunk and a 45 standing dunk, and that's gonna make it easy for my PG to call me on the cuts or for me to dunk on the fast break. As a shooter on NBA 2K25, speed is the game. So when it comes to dribbling, you want your speed with ball to be as high as you possibly can. I went with an 86 to get lightning launch. Why? Because again, if I'm on the break, I don't want to get hawked down and get somebody that's going to block me because I'm too slow with the ball in my hand. I want to be able to move quickly and put the ball down and get to where I want to go. And then an 81 dribble is all you need to get enough dribble moves to create open shots. And then pass, that's another story. 65 is all I need because my job is not to pass, my job is to score. As a two-way sharp in NBA 2K25, my goal is not to be the on-ball lock. My goal is to have enough defense to be able to play up top so I can take off on the breaks a lot faster, get free buckets, and be able to get bumpy on the bump steals and the lane steals. So I went with an 85 steal to be able to get gold interceptor, again, to get those lane steals, and then I went with an 83 perimeter just to give me enough challenger to be able to still get a little bit bumpy when the guard comes to my side. And then I went with a 68 block to be able to go ahead and get the opportunity to be able to contest those threes as best as I can. But the goal here is to have enough defense for me to play up top. Now, you may think that strength does not matter, but when you're making your player, you want to get as much strength as you possibly can. You can see here that I went with a 60 strength to get strong handles. Not only is this going to allow me not to get bullied as much when I put the ball down and try to score, but also when I'm playing defense up top, it's also going to allow me not to be able to get bullied and get a drive-by by a player that's trying to score. So it's super important to add strength to your build if you want to not get bullied. And once you hit continue, this gives you shades of Byron Scott, Derek White, and Gary Trent Jr., giving you the name sharpshooter, which is extremely deceiving, seeing that you can play defense, seeing that you can go ahead and dunk, still be able to dribble and do so much. So now let me go ahead and show you what I ended up doing when it came to my badge loadout that I utilized for this build. Here's how I used 16 cap breakers on my 6'6 sharpshooter. I put 5 on my mid-range to give me 99 midi. I put 5 on my three-point shot to give me a 93 three-pointer. And then I put 5 on my speed to give me a 95 speed. And then I put the 1 on my agility to give me 89. And I'll continue to put the rest of my cap breakers that I earned in future seasons on my agility, because speed is the game. Here's every badge that I get on my 6'6 sharpshooter: Legend Deadeye, Legend Set Shot Specialist, Legend Shifty Shooter, Legend Slippery Off Ball, Purple Limitless Range, Interceptor, Lightning Launch, Off-Ball Pest, Challenger, Flow Game, Glove, Handle for Days, Pick Dodger, Unpluckable, Aerial Wizard, Ankle Assassin, Break Starter, Dimer, High Fly Denier, On-Ball Menace, Paint Prodigy, and so much more. And the reason why I have Legend Slippery Off Ball is because I use my +1 and then I use my other +1 on Limitless Range to make it purple. The takeover that I use on this 6'6 build is Deep Bomber. Not only is it going to extend the range where I can shoot, but you can see here, as I say it all the time, speed is the game. It's going to give me a 99 speed once I have this takeover activated, making me extremely fast on the court, allowing me to be able to score even easier. With only having an 81 ball handle, I wanted to go ahead and get moves that allow me to just get open to hit my shots. So for the dribble style, I went with SGA, signature size up Drew Holiday, Devin Booker for the regular breakdown, Devin Booker for the aggressive breakdown, Jimmy Butler for the escape move, combo moves Devin Booker, crossover Jimmy Butler, behind the back Kawhi Leonard, spin Penny, basic hesitation basic, and then step back I went with Zach LaVine. But it's super important. Remember, speed is the game. For your motion style, you want to go with Jalen Suggs. And then your dribble pull-up, if you want to be able to green more middies, you want to go with Pro 2. All of these moves have one goal: to help you get open with the easiest moves possible to hit open shots. The jump shot that I ended up going with on this 6'6 sharpshooting build is Jarrett Culver base. Then for release 1 and 2, I use Oscar, blend 50-50. Then I make sure that I have it on release and then max speed. This is what allows me to shoot at a high clip. But even with a build like this that has a high 3-ball, you may still be out there missing and not shooting consistently. So go ahead and watch this video right here, where I walk you step by step on the easiest way to green more shots and what I personally do to shoot 70% from the 3-point line, no matter what game mode I play. Click that video right there. I'll see you guys in the next one.